Welcome to Shadow Realm Mysteries, where dark secrets, chilling tales, and unexplained phenomena are unveiled. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare yourself, because the truth always lurks in the shadows. Tonight, we step into a haunting story, the shattered mirror of Elmwood House. A forgotten mystery whispers from the darkness, and a place where no one leaves the same. Are you ready? Late one autumn evening, as twilight gave way to darkness, Olivia Reynolds, an investigative writer known for her fearless pursuit of the paranormal, received a mysterious letter. The envelope, heavy with age and sealed with a strange insignia, bore only one cryptic message. Elmwood House awaits. Its mirror is shattered, and so is your fate. Come alone. The handwriting was erratic, as if penned in a fevered state, and no return address was provided. Intrigued and disturbed by this invitation, Olivia decided that her next story would be her most daring yet. As she read the letter, a chill crept over her. Memories of old ghost tales, legends whispered in dark corners, and unexplained events from her past investigations flooded her mind. With a mix of trepidation and determination, she packed her recording equipment, a notebook, and her most trusted camera. This would be the beginning of an experience that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Olivia set off at dawn, driving along winding roads through mist-covered countryside. The landscape was otherworldly. Dense woods, abandoned farms, and eerie silence punctuated only by the distant hoot of an owl. With every mile, the letter's ominous promise echoed in her mind. Its mirror is shattered, and so is your fate. As she neared her destination, a dilapidated sign creaked in the wind. Elmwood House, Est, 1887. The mansion emerged from the fog like a relic of a bygone era. With its ivy-clad walls, broken windows, and a tall, shattered mirror visible in a side wing, the house exuded an aura of decay and lingering sorrow. Olivia parked her car and approached the mansion on foot. Every step on the overgrown path felt weighted with anticipation. A sense of being watched grew stronger as she neared the front door, which hung slightly ajar, inviting yet foreboding. Inside, Elmwood House was a labyrinth of forgotten memories. The foyer, dimly lit by stray shafts of light through cracked stained glass, revealed faded portraits of solemn ancestors. Dust motes danced in the air, disturbed only by her cautious footsteps. Olivia's voice recorder captured her whispered thoughts. I can almost feel the sorrow of this place. Every creak in the floor, every rustle of the curtains, it's as if the house is speaking. She explored room by room. A once grand parlour where tattered draperies hung limply, a dining hall with a long table set for a feast that never came, and narrow corridors lined with antique furniture. In each room, inexplicable draughts and faint echoes hinted at long-forgotten secrets. Her heart raced when she reached a small study. On an ancient desk lay a torn scrap of paper with barely legible writing. The mirror. If it shatters completely, the souls will be freed or trapped forever. Olivia wondered if this was a warning or a clue. She decided to press on, her determination deepening despite the palpable sense of dread. That evening, as darkness swallowed the mansion, Olivia settled in the parlour to review her notes. By candlelight, she uncovered the mansion's tragic history. According to local law, Elmwood House had once been the home of the Elmwood family, a once wealthy lineage whose fortunes crumbled amid scandal and tragedy. In the late 1800s, the family became obsessed with a mystical mirror said to reveal the true nature of one's soul. They believed the mirror held the power to grant eternal life, or doom. Over time, the mirror became an object of obsession. One stormy night, a violent argument erupted among the family members, culminating in the mirror being thrown against the wall. It shattered into countless pieces, and that very night, every member of the Elmwood family disappeared without a trace. Some say their spirits still roamed the halls, forever tied to the fragments of the mirror that remained scattered throughout the mansion. As Olivia read these accounts, the room seemed to grow colder, and a soft, sorrowful whisper echoed in the distance. The following night, Olivia decided to conduct a séance, hoping to communicate with the spirits bound to Elmwood House. She set up her camera and voice recorder in the parlour and invited the presence of any lingering souls. At first, nothing happened, only the flicker of candle flames and the soft rustle of old curtains. But then a sudden chill swept through the room, and the candles sputtered. In the dim light, a spectral figure appeared, a young woman in a white dress, with eyes that shimmered with sorrow and longing. The apparition moved gracefully, almost silently. Olivia's heart pounded as the ghostly woman approached the shattered mirror on the wall. In a voice both gentle and mournful, the spirit murmured, "Help us, mend the mirror, free us from this curse." Olivia tried to speak, but her voice caught in her throat. The woman faded away as suddenly as she had appeared, leaving behind only the echo of her plea. That night, Olivia recorded every detail, her hands trembling as she jotted down every whispered word and fleeting image. The pieces of the shattered mirror now seemed to glow faintly with an unearthly light, as if urging her to uncover the truth. Determined to unravel the mystery, Olivia ventured into the deeper, hidden parts of the mansion the next day. She discovered a narrow staircase leading to a secret wing, long sealed off and forgotten. The air grew heavy with the scent of decay and old regrets as she descended. In this secluded part of the mansion, the walls were lined with broken fragments of mirrors. Each shard was engraved with names and dates, likely the remnants of the Elmwood family's desperate attempts to document their fate. Olivia could almost feel the anguish of lost souls emanating from the glass, a silent chorus pleading for release. In a dim corner, she found an old diary belonging to a servant who had witnessed the family's descent into madness. The diary recounted bizarre rituals, strange occurrences, and the growing obsession with the mirror. One entry read, "We tried to mend what was broken, but the mirror only shattered further. Now the house whispers, and the dead walk among us." The diary ended abruptly, leaving Olivia with more questions than answers. That night, as storms raged outside, Olivia set out on a desperate quest to piece together the mirror's fragments. Armed with flashlights, a crowbar, and an unwavering resolve, she scoured every corner of the hidden wing. In a room hidden behind a heavy, creaking door, she discovered a large, ornate mirror frame, empty and dusty. It was as if the mirror had been deliberately removed, leaving behind only the promise of its cursed power. The room was filled with eerie symbols drawn on the floor in chalk, and faint echoes of footsteps reverberated as if the house itself were alive. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted. Olivia's breath became visible, and she could hear disembodied whispers urging her to restore what was broken. A pair of cold hands seemed to brush against her cheek. Fear mingled with determination as she began gathering the mirror shards scattered throughout the wing. Hours passed as she painstakingly collected fragments, each piece a window into a soul trapped in eternal torment. The more pieces she found, the louder the whispers grew, until they melded into a cacophony of voices, some pleading, some accusing, and some desperate to be free. With nearly all the fragments in hand, Olivia returned to the hidden room with the empty frame. Guided by the diary's cryptic instructions, she arranged the shards in a specific pattern. As she did, the room seemed to pulse with energy. Lightning flashed outside as if nature itself was warning her. The assembled fragments began to glow faintly, and the air vibrated with an unearthly hum. Olivia recited the incantation written in the diary, her voice quivering yet resolute. "By the shards of sorrow and pieces of the past, restore the mirror so that the spirits may be free at last." At that moment, a tremendous force surged through the room. The fragments vibrated, merging together, emitting a brilliant, blinding light. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Then, as the light faded, the mirror was whole, a magnificent, ornate piece reflecting not only the room, but also an ominous presence behind it. The restored mirror revealed a horrifying truth. In its reflection, the faces of the Elmwood family appeared, twisted, anguished, and eternally trapped. But one face was different, the face of the young woman from the séance, now fully formed and desperate. Her eyes locked with Olivia's, and a silent scream echoed from the mirror, as if begging for release. Suddenly, the mirror's surface rippled, and from it emerged a spectral figure, a man in Victorian attire, his eyes burning with torment. He spoke in a voice that resonated with centuries of grief. "I am Edward Elmwood. Our sins have cursed this house, and our souls are bound by the shattered mirror. Only a sacrifice of true remorse can break the curse. Will you pay the price, or will you let our torment continue?" Olivia's heart pounded. The weight of the decision was crushing. She realised that in order to free the trapped souls, and perhaps herself from the house's malignant grasp, she might have to offer something irretrievably precious. Tears streamed down Olivia's face as she weighed her options. The spirits pleaded with her silently through the mirror. She recalled the tragic stories: the family, the children, the servant whose diary she had found. Every soul trapped in Elmwood House was a victim of hubris and despair. With trembling hands, Olivia reached into her bag and pulled out a locket, a cherished heirloom from her late mother. It was the only thing she had left of her past, a symbol of love and loss. The locket shone softly under the candlelight as she held it up to the mirror. "I offer you my most treasured memory, so that you may find rest," she whispered, her voice barely audible. The spectral figures around the mirror recoiled as a surge of ethereal light enveloped the room. The mirror's surface fractured momentarily, and then, with a sound like shattering glass, the image of the Elmwood family and the tortured souls vanished. For a heartbeat, silence reigned. Then the mirror slowly dimmed to a gentle glow, as if at peace. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a bittersweet calm. In the following days, Elmwood House began to change. The heavy air that had clung to every corner dissipated, replaced by a soft, almost mournful light. The voices ceased, and the spectral figures no longer haunted the halls. Olivia left the mansion with a heart full of sorrow and relief. The locket she had sacrificed was never seen again, yet she carried the memory of her mother and the knowledge that she had set the lost souls free. But sometimes, on quiet nights, when the wind whispers through the trees, Olivia hears a soft, distant voice, almost a thank you from beyond, and she wonders if the price she paid was enough to break the curse for good. Years later, Elmwood House stands restored, a historical landmark free of its haunted past. Yet visitors sometimes claim that if you look closely at the grand mirror in its foyer, you can still see a faint, loving smile, a reminder that even in the darkest of curses, hope and sacrifice can bring a new dawn. The story of Elmwood House became a legend, shared in hushed tones and solemn whispers. Olivia's account, recorded in her now famous documentary, continues to inspire both fear and hope. For every ghost story, there lies a truth. Sometimes our greatest burdens can be lifted through the power of sacrifice and love. And if you listen on a cold, quiet night, you might just hear the echo of a grateful spirit, finally at peace.